Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of It's My Destiny, okay, podcast. I've been gone for quite some time now, and it's really because of disobedience. So we're gonna be talking and being a little transparent and vulnerable today about how I truly have been feeling and just the truth. And I feel like me just talking to you guys will allow me to let it out in a more clear way. Of course, I've been, telling my thoughts to the Lord and also journaling. But I think it's time to be transparent and vulnerable to the people on the other side of the camera. And so this is for whoever come across this video. I just want you to know that this is real. This is life. And this is how it is. So I think as Christians, we're so used to the peace, the joy, the good things of our relationship with God, how it is to walk into purpose and anointing and to fulfill the great things he has in store for you. But we miss the part when it calls us to be obedience and uncomfortability. And I have been doing that a lot lately, having to be obedient and uncomfortability. We are not used to this, right? We can say before we came to Christ, you had bad habits. You were stuck in your bad habits. You might have wicked thoughts continuously. And I mean, sure, sometimes the enemy plant things in your mind, but this is just how it was. You might have had evil heart, might have been disrespectful, rude, and had a bad attitude to people, might love to fight. You was probably a person that always cussed people out and was ready to fight somebody. You might have been the person that's like, no, I don't play like that, right? Or you're the person who jokes a lot, or you're the person who points out somebody insecurities 24/7, or you're the person who is just lazy and not disciplined at all. You're the person who does not like to do certain things, right? You're inconsistent. You were probably impatient. You were probably rude, not nice to people, right? It's so many things. You're probably greedy, you probably gave into a lot of gluttony, was probably very lustful, did a lot of sexual things. And so this might have been you before Christ, and then Christ came in and he transformed your heart and your mind and made you understand what it is to receive his love and to know his love so that you can have a heart for him. And now you're like, okay, I want God more than anything. But even though you want God more than anything, there still has to be some work that has to be done. The Bible tells us faith without works is dead. And so you might want God more than anything, but when it comes to wanting God more than anything, you have to show him. I love to tell people this, that like, you can love somebody and not show them that you love them. And that will make that person that you love feel like you don't love them, or think that you don't love them. And they might even know, they might be like, okay, I know this person loved me, but they're just not showing me. How do you think that person feels? It's the same way with God. You can love God, right? He poured his love out in your heart. You have a heart for him. You want to worship him. You want to praise his name. You want to serve his people. But you're just not showing God in your daily actions and what you do and the things he tell you to do, all these different things. You're just not showing him. And so God does not receive that as you love me. He's receiving it as you don't. Because if you did, you would show me. You would show me by your actions. That is what God's love and standard of love is. Not only having the feeling of love, but also putting the work behind it. And so that is how it is when you're walking with Christ. You are a new creation. You are clean. You are cleansed. But now God is calling you to do things that are uncomfortable. Do things that you have never done before. Cut people off that you have never cut off before. Maybe go apply to some type of school that you've never applied to before. Do a hobby that you never did before. Go to a different state that you've never been before. Go out of the country, leave your family. God he might be calling you to do something you've never did before that is very uncomfortable. Leave that job, whatever it is. Give up that car. Give up $1,000 that you just got, whatever it is, right? These are things that God will call you to do in obedience, right, to him, because he has a greater purpose and he sees the bigger picture in the vision and you don't. And God might call you to do these things, right? And I know that like us as Christians, we're so used to just our old life. We might have a renewed mind. We might love God now and more, but God, I still got this flesh. This flesh still want to be fleshing. Like for real, my flesh still want to do the things of the flesh. Sometimes I don't want to do that. Sometimes I just want to do what I want to do. But this is why the title of the video is this. This is why it is God's will over your will. It is his way over your way. Sometimes we want to do what we want to do. And I'm not saying it's easy as a Christian, because sometimes you're going to slip up and you're going to mess up. But the whole point is that God will pick you back up when you slip up and when you mess up. It is your heart posture that matters. He's going to call you to do things that are outside of what you're used to. Lately, God has been calling me to do a lot of that, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I was like, it's been a lot. Okay. But because I'm in alignment, because I'm connected to the Lord, I can hear his heart concerning certain things that I do. And I would say lately I've been disobedient with the podcast specifically, because I've been like, it's a lot of things. You ever been to that point? And this is what the whole video is about. You ever been to that point where you're just like, I don't want to. It's not because I don't want to serve. It's not because I don't have a heart to do it. It's just because it is not what I'm used to. It is uncomfortable for me. It is putting me in a position where I have to do something that I'm not used to doing consistently, by the way. This is not what I'm used to. The destiny right here, this is not what the destiny right here is used to. I'm not used to having to do bigger things. I'm not used to have to do things outside of me. I'm not used to having to do things that are higher than what I'm used to. These are standards that God is calling me to that I'm not used to. I'm used to not doing anything. I'm used to kind of settling. I'm used to being lazy. I'm used to sitting down and not moving and not being the center of it and not being the voice and not being the face of things. I'm used to that. I'm used to being behind the scenes. I'm used to hiding. I'm used to not being seen by everyone. I'm used to, not having to encourage someone to speak to someone or doing something consistently, being disciplined, being consistent. I'm not used to these things. And so God is calling me, but I know the other person on the side of the screen, he's calling you too, to have to do something that is uncomfortable. That is what he's been calling me to do. And it's hard because God, what? You're saying that you want me to do what? That I'm not used to? Like, it's hard. It's hard. I remember, y'all, like, it's so crazy. I think it was like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. I would say a year and a half. Or yeah, it could be like a year and a half. So I was in this ministry, this mentorship, and I remember being in the mentorship, and the mentor that I had was saying that she is called to be a pastor, and she was saying that how she does not want to do it. She doesn't want to do it. She was like, I don't want to do it. She cried one day. She was on the in front of the community. She was like, I don't want to do it. God is calling me to do something I don't want to do. She said, because not only have I seen what pastors go through, I understand their warfare. I understand what they have to go through with their money, their family, what they have to experience, the things they have to build, the things they have to do in the secret place. I understand the capacity, the weight, the calling, the anointing of a pastor. And I don't want to do that, because that is something I'm not yet ready to step into. And that is exactly sometimes how I feel. I understand the dreams and the visions you have given to me, Lord. And you might understand the dreams and visions that the Lord have given to you, but you're like, okay, I'm not ready to step into that right now. That's too much for me. The amount of warfare that comes with what you are calling me to do, the amount of things that comes to what you are calling me to do is too heavy and too weighty for me to carry right now. I don't want to do that. Or maybe you're just like, God, I just don't have it in me. There's something outside of my comfort zone, something outside of what I'm used to, outside of my box. I just want to be here, complacent in what I'm used to. And the Lord is calling you, no, step out, daughter, step out, son. Because when you step out, then you're going to walk in something that is outside of you, something that is greater than you. And I think that sometimes we get so scared. I remember talking to my friend about this, and she said, you're focused too much on the future. You're focused too much on where God is taking you and not what he's calling you to do in the moment, in the now. Because the moment you move, you'll start to understand why he told you to do it in the first place. But when you focus on where he's going to take you, then you start to look at the gifts and the anointing and the things that require of you there, and you start to think, well, I don't have that in me now. That's because you have not yet. Just because God giving you a vision of this powerful woman and man of God, just because God has given you this vision of this anointed man and woman of God who's speaking at conferences, who's on the stage, who's praying over people, who's casting demons out, who's able to encourage other people, who's able to lift other people up, who's able to have a community, a mentorship, who's able to have whatever, who has this business, this money, this wealth. Just because you see this vision of where God will take you does not mean you should focus on the things that's there, if that makes sense. You have to focus on the now. Because God gave you that vision of that great man and woman of God, but that's going to scare you. You focus on what it takes to get there. If you're focused on what it takes to have what you need to have when you get there, it's going to scare you. It's going to make you feel like, God, well, you know what? I'm just going to stay right here in my little comfort zone, my little bubble. I'm just going to chill. I'm just just let me be right here. You can do what you want to, how it talks about, if God was to give you the whole picture and the whole vision of what it takes to get to that point, then you would not want to do it. You would tell God, you know what? Give it to somebody else. Literally, I've been thinking that so much. If I would have knew the warfare, the things I had to go through now, then you know what? You can go ahead and give it to somebody else, because I'm okay over here. I'd rather not. That's the reason why God don't give you the whole vision. That's the reason he only gives you glimpses and pieces of it. So he can encourage you, keep you moving and on your feet so that you can know there's something greater than you on the other side. But in the now, you have to focus on what it takes for you to complete something today. What is God requiring of you in the now? Not not where he's taking you, but what he requires of you in the now. Because if you focus so much on the woman who's disciplined, on the man who owns 6-figure businesses, then you're going to think, dang, I don't have any of those qualities or traits or any of it in order to get to that point. But you don't understand that God is equipping and cultivating those things in you in the now. So you need to be obedient with the little thing he gave you so that he can bless you with much. Y'all, it was so great to understand that I am not alone and that I have somebody who can also say that sometimes, and it's okay to say it too. I want you guys to be vulnerable and transparent as well. It's okay to say sometimes God just don't want to do it. I don't. I literally had times where I cried on my knees to God that I did not want to do something. I don't know how I'm going to do it, because I just don't know how I'm going to do that. I literally know I had to do it, but I cried because I'm I don't know how I'm going to do that. I literally don't want to. And I was on my face and I cried to God. The next day I got up and did it. Because even though I feel like I don't want to, does not mean I cannot do it. Does not mean I don't have it in me to do it. Does not mean he has not placed and imparted his wisdom, his anointing, his spirit, his power, his gifts, his qualities in me to do it. I have to stop focusing on what I see, how I feel, and not what he placed in me. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. I think we have to focus on what he said in his word and not what we feel. And so it's so important to understand you are not alone. It's okay to be transparent. I want everybody to understand it's okay to be transparent. Tell God the truth. Be real with him. I do it all the time. Be real with God because he sees it. He understands. He already know you feel that way. The Bible tells us in Psalms 139, he says, I know the thoughts on your tongue. He knows the next words you're about to say before you even say it. He knows you're sitting and you're rising. He knows everything about you. Go ahead and be transparent with him. And when you do, now you move. now you get up and do it. Because guess what? Obedience is better than sacrifice. And that is what I'm learning. It's hard, y'all. I literally be like, God, I don't want to. But I get up and do it anyway. And I would say before, I didn't quite do it. I didn't quite get up and do it because I was like, just let it pass. Like, time passed. But when the Lord speaks loud and clear, I'm like, okay, I have to move. Because if I sit still any longer, that is going to delay myself and everybody else who needs me. And so I hope this video encouraged you guys. I didn't want to make it too long. I just want to be a little transparent and open with you. If you like this video, comment, like, and subscribe so that you can follow for more videos like this. And I just pray to see you guys next video. Stay tuned. There's going to be something great coming next. And I love you guys. See you guys later.